What's up, dudes? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today, we are theorizing a country called Italy. You already know the drill. Let's dissect the flag. The Italian flag makes a lot of symbols. The green represents that it has a lot of grass, and the white represents its peace. I've been doing that for a long time. And the red represents that it suffered many defeats when it was in World War II, but we'll go in that in another video. But anyway, here's the official emblem of Italy. It's just one star, and it says Repubblica Italiana, spoken in Italian. And then there's leaves around the circle. Anyway, however, the country is located in Central Europe, bordering France, Switzerland, Austria, Slovenia, and know why because of this is because of that weird border with Italy and Slovenia known as Trieste. Basically, I'll explain it to you. So, Trieste was an odd limbo, but kind of like that, but there are two nations secret in each other, San Marino and Vatican City, all border Italy within its borders. Even the tiniest country in the world, Vatican City. And this is Italy, which means that here's the ethnic groups that right there. In the south, we have the Greeks, and then central Italy was the Romans, and the northwest is Solomons, and then north will be probably Caesar, and the northeast is home to Augustus, and the islands is home to Dondurcius, and surrounding cave homes and lots of things, including the Roman Empire, which proven to be the largest empire in the beginning. Yeah, it was in the beginning at the time. And it was 1 AD. And the Iron Crown was liberated the kings of Italy, and Marco Polo is a famous artist, and it's like a renaissance. And the Italian Navy, and look at this map. It has King of Sicily, King of Naples, Papal States, with support of the Pope, Republic of Genoa, Republic of Florence, and Republic of Genoa, and also Corsica, and Republic of Venice, which expand throughout Slovenia and Croatia, and the Duchy of Slovakia expand through France and Monaco. Yeah. And that island wasn't even occupied yet. And Leonardo da Vinci, who painted Mona Lisa, and this painting was designed by Italians. It's like a new birth of the world. And look at Italy. It was divided, and it was divided for a long time. France and Austrians with us, and there is also the Kingdom of Sardinia. And there's Corsica by France. And there's the Papal States. And the Sicily and the Naples. And lots of kings and the Victor and Resistance Monument. And Bonito, it's World War II. And yep, it became a state, which means that is a dictatorship, but it conquered most of France, Yugoslavia, Albania, Greece, Tunisia, Egypt, and Libya, Ethiopia, Eritrea, Somalia, and parts of China too. These great ones were occupied during World War II. After World War II, they had a very stable and charismatic government. And the geography of this, in the north, there's the Alps, where most of the people don't live at all. like, except for this part known as Kingdom Sardinia. Sardinia have much more of mountains like that. They probably love mountains, I don't know. You love that, but there's flamingos, dolphins, and all these hundreds and hundreds of thousands of wolves, and the president and vice president. But let's focus on that. Anyway, Sardinia's been president of Italy since 2015, and Mario Draghi is prime minister since 2021. That's crazy. That's very recent. And the Chamber of Deputies and the Supreme Court and the Alfamendo, which they invented, and the G7 2017 summit of all these European leaders and American President Donald Trump. Speaking of him, he's a former president. And Ferrari 488 Fiesta was also made in Italy. And also Lamborghinis too. Italy has some Lamborghini cars, and they're thanks to the Rolex, it was made in Italy. It looks like many arts and many talents were made in Italy. I mean, if you're Italian, you would show off immediately to people you are Italian and probably the best painter in the world, and probably have Lamborghini and Ferrari in there. And have Gucci things. Yeah, Gucci was made in Italy. And you have like a $5,000 jacket, and I don't care how much it worth, but it costs $5,000. So I don't want to afford it. And however, the capital and largest city is Rome, and their official language is Italian, and their ethnic group is mostly Italian, 91%. And their religion is Christianity with 83%. No religion, 12%, 3% Islam. That's very diverse. And the president of the Senate is Elizabeth Warren, and the president of the Chamber of Duty is Robert Riddle. And their legislator is the Italian Parliament. But let me explain. Basically, in 1861, the Kingdom of Italy was formed, and it had its own republic in 1946 after the smack dab of World War II, and their current situation in 1948, and joined the EU in 1958. And it founded the EC, known as EU, right now. And their population is 60 million, making it 23rd on the Swiss. And their GDP is 2.600 trillion, makes it 13th in this list. Hey, that's actually good. And their nominal is 2.106 trillion, makes it 8th place in the world. Holy moly, scrockmolies. But anyway, their GNI is 33.4, which is medium, and their currency is a euro, and their driving zone is right. Most European countries use right instead of Americans, right and left. Just do it all the way, Italians. Okay, let's look at the presidential election of 1816. It's because that the era of good feelings is gonna start. This is only just 2 pages, but it's not that long. The 8th presidential election in American history took place from Friday, November 1st to Wednesday, December 4th, 1816, deciding to play it cool like his predecessors Thomas Jefferson and George Washington. President James Madison decided not to run for a third term. Madison's second term had been heavily influenced by the War of 1812 and provided to be a solid leader during it after the war was over, even though the United States hadn't technically won. Americans still felt pretty good. However, they were able to defend themselves against the British in all things. Consider it was the beginning of so-called the era of good feelings and the prosperity and the swept the country during the least tempering held to unite it. Simply put, Madison was a popular and James Monroe, Secretary of State, who was now one to take Madison's place, was also popular. The Federalists, meanwhile, were not so popular because of a talk trash about involvement in the war, and especially because of, and even they talked about seceding from the Union and making it more hard. And trying to, but that never happened, and the Federalist Party made them look bad. They looked bad at the first time. But anyway, let's continue. In the Hartford Convention, many Americans took their backs from the Federalist Party. I now agree. The biggest complaints at the Hartford Convention seemed the fact that the federal government was gaining too much power. In fact, Madison had changed his mind on things, and the president that made him seem like the traditional Federalist, for he began favoring a national bank and providing tariffs. If provided the Democrat Republicans were also acting like Federalists, what were in the both parties? The Federalists didn't even officially nominate anyone for president in 1816, although the Federalist Party was now in the picture. The Democrat Republicans prepared in a landslide victory. Several names popped up. Then James Madison for the nomination. Many rising star, Henry Clay, the Speaker of the House, and a Battle of New Orleans hero, Andrew Jackson, to run both sides, declined. William H. Crawford, U.S. Secretary of War, really thought he was running, but soon he stood no chance against Monroe, so he decided to drop out of the race. In Pennsylvania, Governor Sunshine and Daniel D. Tompkins, governor of New York, both withdrew the Democrat-Republican caucus nomination. Even though Monroe was widely loved by many, there was a growing number who didn't want him to get nominated because he was another dude from Virginia. Indeed, some were called Virginia Dynasty. Still, James Monroe got the nomination, with almost granting him the presidency. Or did it? Monroe's running mate was Daniel D. Tompkins. I mentioned him earlier. Weren't you paying attention? Gosh! Like I mentioned before, the Federalist Party didn't formally nominate anyone, but many Federalists, again, supported Rufus King, the former U.S. Senator and founding father dude, with John Entrance, Senator from Maryland, as his running mate. And Rufus King was the Senator from New York. Guess you should know that. And here are our results. First of all, it was a bit of conflict. When people in November and December, Indiana wasn't officially in a state yet, so citizens wanted their votes continued. Some argued that votes shouldn't be individual, as Indiana still technically was the territory during the election. Periods is long short. Indiana got its way, and its votes were continued. It's no surprise that James Monroe won the election, becoming the 5th president in American history. Monroe received 183 electoral votes, with Rufus King just receiving 34 electoral votes. Monroe was the second president named James in a row to win the presidency. In fact, James would be proved to be the most popular first name of a president. In fact, James proved to be the most popular first unnamed president throughout American history, with 4 more dudes named James being elected president as well. Daniel D. Tompkins became the 6th vice president in American history. Monroe won 68.2% of the popular vote, and Ruffles King with 3.9%. Yeah, Monroe dominated all right. 1.86% of the population voted in this election. And that was it. And basically, that's the end of the series of Italy. So, thank you for watching this video. Hope you have an amazing day, a great day, and I'll see you next week.